the uncle, he's the carbuncle, and he's the chef. We have a special guest again, Martin Butera. We're here at Butera's in Woodbury. If you've never been here, please come here. It's a wonderful restaurant. And we're going to talk about the Mets, the Yankees, and the Dodgers today. We're going to start with the Yankees. The Yankees made the trade for Soto. They lost out on Yamamoto. They really tried to get him. So where do you think they go from here?
I think they need pitching. That's really the key. I mean, I think Soto's gonna. I don't know if it's possible for him to have another breakout year, but I think he's gonna thrive in Yankee Stadium. That short right field porch. You know, lefty hitter like Juan Soto, those guys thrive. I mean, you've seen it with Giambi and other players that have played for the Yankees in the past. I do think they need some bullpen help, though. They lost Michael King. I think that's where they go.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think, that the addition of Soto really helps that lineup tremendously. It's going to take a lot of pressure off of Judge. If the rest of the guys can stay healthy, I think that side of the coin is very good. But I agree. I think pitching will be the issue, as it is for everybody, really.
Everybody.
But they have their ace, and that really means a lot. The bullpen had been reliable the last couple of years, not so much so now. We'll see how that goes for them. I'm thinking, though, that they're going to be right in the mix again. I think they'll come back from last year.
Well, I tell you, if I'm a Yankee fan, the one move I want to see them make is to get rid of Stanton. And I think they're paying like $25 million of his salary. Miami, Florida's playing the rest. I'd pay 23 of it just to get rid of him. Let him be DH somewhere else. He can't run. He jogs around the bases. He jogs around the outfield. He's just a drain on the lineup, on the defense, and on the play. Anyway, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your New York Mets. We got the blue and orange boys here. They signed Bader, great defense. It seems like they've signed some defensive players.
For sure, which I love Harrison Bader. Like, he's not a great hitter, but he's a platinum glover every single year. The only thing that I question is Brandon Nimmo was really coming into his own in center field, becoming a really top-tier center fielder. Obviously, you're going to go with Bader out there in the day of the week, but is Nimmo going to be okay with playing left field?
Was he getting a 8-year contract?
Yeah, I mean, he has to be at this point, but or are they going to trade him?
Yeah. I don't think they should. What do you think?
I think the move is Bader in center and Nimmo on the left. I think Nimmo's the makeup. I think he'll do it, and I think he recognizes it. But your point is true. I mean, he was really coming into center field. Above average last year in there. So I think that. But I do agree. I think that the addition is good. I like it. Also, you want to talk pitching. I don't think the Mets are going to be looking for more pitching. I think they're going to sit on what they've done. I mean, they got Manaea, Severino, and Hauser.
Yep.
I think those three, and then not that I agree, but I think if there are Met fans who are looking to get more pitching, I don't think it's coming.
Yeah. It seems everybody's looking for pitching, right? I like Severino signing. I think it's a low risk with a high reward, right? And the Dodgers do that every year. Tyler Anderson, when we signed him, now he played that into a 3-year deal with the Yankees. The lefty on Texas, what's his name? Heaney. He had a pretty good year with them. Yeah. So I think the Mets are trying to do that. Hauser, I think, will be a good maybe third or fourth starter. He'll lead up some innings for him. And I think you're right. I think they're going to stick with the hand they have and play it out this year, and then see what happens next year.
I don't really see the Mets as a competitive team right now. Though I think they're still missing a little bit. Maybe in a weaker division such as the NL Central, but when the NL East, you're competing with the Braves and the Phillies every single year, and the Marlins, who are really starting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're talking about the division, 100% agree. But with the expanded wild card, I think they're on the outside. I think looking in, a lot of other things have to break their way.
They're on the cusp,
and they could. I don't know, how many wins will it take to get there. If things do come to play, I think they have a shot this year at getting to the playoffs. it's all about flexibility. I think this year, a lot of money's coming off the books at the end of the season. Alonso is a big question whether
They're going to sign him.
Yeah, I would think. I think that's the play for their fan base. I think Cohen recognizes that. Even if Stern is not subscribing to it, I think this is something that really needs to be done.
Yeah.
But I think it's really about positioning themselves for 25-6. To be somewhat competitive this year. But make the playoffs, who knows? But yeah, I think that's what we have to look forward to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They failed at Yamamoto. I think they were played. I think Mets and Yankees were both played.
I think they were.
They drove that when he first went on the market. How much was $200 million was talked about?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
look where he ends up.
That's 100%.
The Mets matched the Dodgers offer
They
as
did.
well.
Yeah, just didn't want to be here. He knew where he wanted to be.
And I'm sure they would have went more if he had asked for it, at least a little bit. But
Well, that brings us
he wanted to play in LA, so
Right.
that's our next.
That brings us, well, all right, we kind of thought Ohtani would sign there, right? And he deferred like 90% of the salary.
Yeah.
So they can sign him. I mean, that's, and Yamamoto was a surprise. I thought the Mets had him on track, to be honest. And the Yankees thought they had him. I mean, they thought he was.
Yeah.
But, to Martin's point, I think he just drove up the market. And his agent played it smartly.
Yeah.
And he got to where he wanted to be. So, all right, so Yamamoto and Ohtani and Teoscar Hernandez signed yesterday with the Dodgers.
Sherry on top.
Listen, I still think they need a bullpen piece. They need a closer. Evan Phillips is not, they're not going to go into the season with Evan Phillips.
You don't think
in my
so?
opinion. I think his numbers were a little off last year. He's starting to come down a little bit. His sweet spot is the 7th or 8th inning. They're going to need somebody on the back end.
Who's out there that they can go after?
I don't see them getting Hader. Hader's looking for a Diaz type deal. I don't see that happening. Maybe a reunion with Kenley Jansen. Maybe.
Where is he now, Jim?
He's at Boston.
He's at Boston.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
they picked him up.
Yeah.
And they'd have to trade for him, right? I guess.
Yes. Yeah, that would be.
So
But
he-
I don't think that would be. I don't think they have to give up a lot for him. To be
I
honest.
wouldn't burn them.
Yeah. And I think they'll get another starter too, because they've got they've got 4 starters who aren't going to be back for a while. Gonsolin's going to miss the year. Kershaw won't be back till the end of the year, the back half of the year. Buehler's coming back, but he's going to be limited, especially in the beginning. Dustin May, who I think is better than all of them. He might miss half the year as well. Yeah. So you got Bobby Miller, Yamamoto, and I mean that's the top, and Glasnow.
Do you think they're going to go for a guy like Cease from the Red Sox?
It depends on the price. I don't think they're
I'm
going to
not very
overpay.
high on him.
No?
No,
But he's
because
28. You got 2 years of control.
true, but 2 years ago, so that would be the 2022 season. He was a Cy Young candidate. I don't think he won it, right? But he had like
No.
a 2.3 ERA.
Yeah.
One of the best pitchers in baseball.
It was a great year.
Last year, he kind of fell off a lot. Same amount of starts, but his ERA jumped to a 4.8.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of regression. I don't really know what we're gonna get with him, or whatever team signs him, what they're gonna get with him. Is he gonna be the guy we know who's gonna be the number 1 in a rotation and hold down the rotation, or is he gonna be a disappointment?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question, but to Martin's point before, everybody's looking for pitching. It's the market. So they'll get if the White Sox trade him, they'll get a good package for him. I just don't think the Dodgers will overpay. I think they'll use a guy like Emmett Sheehan in the rotation before they overpay for Cease. I mean that's been their history. They've got a couple of guys they need to trade. Michael Bush. It's good news. He's 26. He's got to play. He doesn't have a spot. Vargas has still got to show what he's got. So anyway, they've got some stuff to do.
There is the other Japanese pitcher out there too, right?
Yeah.
Not yes. Yeah, he's got to. I think the clock is ticking on his.
That's right.
His window, so that might be an issue. It might be an option. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I don't think the Mets are going there, and maybe the Yankees, or maybe the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the fact that the Dodgers have so many guys who are there coming back, they may get a placeholder.
Short term, yeah.
You know, and you know, there's a lot of money, and the fact that every team is looking for pitching
Yep.
means that the lineups are more important. I feel that it's watered down with pitching, so if you're going up against teams in a similar position, the difference will be the lineup, and I think that's where you're going to see higher scoring games. I feel. I think the rules are guided that way. I think that's what they're going to do. So ERAs are up, you know. So I think you're going to see more of that. And you know, teams that focus on their offense every day, players may have the.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I mean, that's a great point. Everybody needs pitching. Everybody. They never have too much pitching, right? The old saying. Okay, real quick. It's football playoffs time. Let's just take a couple of minutes on that.
I'm an Indianapolis Colts fan, and I don't know if you watched the game the other day, but a minute and a half left. We're marching down in the red zone. 4th and 1. We have the season in our hands. 3 shots to the playoffs. And 4th and 1, our 4th string running backs drops the ball wide open.
Yeah.
Right?
Drops the ball wide open. We probably would have won that game.
That's a
I mean, we
great
still had about
point.
20 yards to go.
Why was he in the game?
That's what I'm questioning.
You know, I don't blame. I mean, listen, he was a rookie, right? Yeah, it's a big play, missed it, but why was he there? You know, Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor has been killing it all day.
Yeah, it just that puzzles me. You know?
Zach Moss and Trey Sermon, our 2 backup backs, were hurt. And then, go figure, the next day the Jaguars ended up losing to the Titans. So the Texans ended up winning the division off that, and it would have been the Colts if they won. I'm just a disgruntled fan right now.
That's too bad. So let's go to the playoffs.
Okay.
Well, I'm a Jet fan, so it's nothing that I could say. At least you were there, you know.
I'm a Giant fan, so like yesterday, both of us wanted to lose to get a better draft pick, and they both win.
I gotta say though, you know, I mean, in the scheme of things, yeah, it would have been last position, but Giants beat the hated Eagles,
Yes.
and the Jets finally beat
Belichick.
and the Patriots.
That's always good.
Sent them away. I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I lost the position, or what, but you know, who knows in the draft what happens?
That's right.
This draft class is loaded too.
It is.
A lot
It's
of
a
good
good
prospects.
A lot of good offensive linemen in this draft.
Yeah,
A lot of guys.
that's the thing. Let's talk about the playoffs. Like
Okay.
I said, we can speculate
Okay.
about the draft.
Go ahead.
whatever.
Who do you like?
Start.
Oh my. Well, I mean, everyone's pointing to the Ravens, right, and the 49ers, you know, and they're both number 1 seeds. But I don't know the last time both number 1 seeds made it. I think was it last year, Philly, DC? I'm not sure, but I'm looking for a possible upset, and I think it's going to happen. I'm not sure who, but what. I look for a fast Kansas City exit. I don't like what's going on there.
Yeah, I agree.
Buffalo, you know, they're very, you know, Jekyll and Hyde, but they have their Dr. Jekyll is pretty good, you know, so
Darn good.
look for them,
Yeah.
I think, as a possibility there. In the NFC, you know, Cowboys can't get past themselves, and they're, you know, if they can harness their thing and get it together, if someone takes care of the 49ers, they stay at home,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Cowboys can't be defeated.
And not in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They came close the last couple of years. You
Yeah.
know, both games were competitive, and arguably the Cowboys made, you know, last 2 playoff rounds. I mean, not this season, it was a disaster. But you know, I know there's possibilities that Prescott's playing really well this year. Lamb is just incredible.
He's terrific.
You know, but
Yeah, the Cowboys will play just well enough to lose. You know, that's been Prescott's history. He'll throw bad. That was Tony Romo's history too. Tony Romo was a terrific quarterback, just good enough to lose. Remember, he fumbled the snap.
yes, yeah.
And then he picked it up and he missed the first down by
Against
this much.
Seattle. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
So I hate to say it, but I think the Cowboys could make some noise.
You think? It's either, you know, it could, who knows? You know,
Yeah.
But I don't see a team, a lower level team, making a run like
Right.
the NFC.
Right.
Just quality is not there.
Yeah, it's
you
not as
know?
deep. I
Not
agree.
as deep, you know.
Yeah.
But look at the Texans, right? Now they have a home game against Cleveland. Cleveland's been great defensively and everything, but Stroud at home, maybe you know, who knows what happens? Like, I don't think that's going to happen in the NFC. You know, I don't know. the Eagles are playing the Bucks. You know, who wins that one? The Eagles are playing terribly. You know, but the Bucks are home. You know, but there's more of a possibility in open for the AFC.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the AFC is going to be a crazy run to the end. I think you mentioned Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to win. I think they might make a deep run. And then AFC, you have the Dolphins as the 6th seed in the AFC. Anything can happen. I think Miami is going to win the AFC, come out on top. Them or Baltimore, I think is going to be one of them. I think that offense is just very high-powered. With Tua, if he makes the right throws, you have Tyreek Hill, you have all these guys. And they just have to stay out of their own defense. And then NFC, I do like the 49ers, and I would love to see Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl.
Miami has a coach that wears capri pants. For Christ.
He's really quirky. He's a real quirky.
He's a good coach.
Different kind of cat.
He's good. He's I love his posts, his press conferences. It's very entertaining. But he's doing it right.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not sold on the Dolphins. I would be very surprised if they come out of the AFC. But I just they played a great game last night against the Bills. They lost. They could have come out and won that one, but the Bills got some breaks that took return. It's going to be interesting. You know, one thing is I just saw that KC game is only being streamed on Peacock. So what is going on? You know, on a playoff game to do that's really
easing us into it.
Yeah, it just shows you where we're headed. It's not really fair. You know, I think it's a short-term grab. Maybe people got to go, and that's where the content will be. They're going to end up going there, fine. But it really alienates the person, much like ticket pricing.
Yeah, 100%.
Can't go to the game; it's so very expensive. You know, to do that in a playoff game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're setting us up. Man. That's what they're doing. Okay. Anything else? Good.
More hoping for the off season to be won. Hopefully the Mets won it last year, right? Look what happened. But I'm hoping this year we turn the table a little bit. Lying low. Yeah. But no, looking forward to the playoffs in the NFL and then spring training.
Coming up, right around the corner.
Well, thank you guys for
inviting
me.
Thanks for joining us.
Always appreciate the time.
It was great. It was our pleasure. See you next time.